Hey guys, DaBoki here once again. It is time for a Maplestory video. I am here on DaBoking my Archer 241, and it has been a really good time training this Bowmaster again during the Savior update. I wanted to give a little reboot progress report since we kind of started on reboot with this Bowmaster with that series, and I thought it'd be kind of nice to do a little catch up on how the Bowmaster is doing at the moment. So 241, these levels are zooming because of the hyperburn, so it's been really fun to train the Bowmaster. But this video, I wanted to go ahead and focus a little bit on the bossing aspect. So let me go ahead and move into a boss, and then I can go ahead and give some more further updates on how the Bowmaster is. Stats right now, I'm sitting at about 20k stats, which is pretty nice. Let me go ahead and buff up. I was doing a little bit of upgrades, but a lot of the upgrades I'm waiting on because how the Savior patch works is they're releasing all of our event upgrades spaced out sporadically throughout the Savior patch. So I kind of have to be patient, but pretty much how this DMT is working is like one day you can cube earrings, another day you can cube top, bottom, overall, and cape. Another day is like accessories. I guess the earrings would fall in the accessories. One day is hat, one day is shoes, one day is weapon. So they're really like spreading it out, which is a little interesting, but you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and write it out and see how it feels. It might be okay. But let's go get into some bossing here with the Bowmaster. It's been feeling really good. I think Bowmaster has a super nice bossing kit. We got a good burst. We have really good survivability. And I think the damage is just like overall it's consistent in a boss. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop on my burst, which if you notice on the bottom right hand side, I kind of set up all my hotkeys so that all the bursts will align. So I pop all my buffs first, all my buffs going, and then right there, if you notice, I was supposed to die, but I just tanked it because I have 2 extra lives essentially on Bowmaster. And just look at that damage coming out. It is nice. I mean, granted, that was Czak, so it's one of the easier, harder bosses, but still, you know, like the damage coming out, I think is super easy to proc with Bowmaster. I think Bowmaster is like one of the easier classes to play because all you got to do is just like push your skills and then it'll just blow up. You know, everything will just do it for you. So it's nice. And let me go ahead and just move down the line here. We're going to go to H mag. So my bursts are down, which may have been smart if I kind of waited for them, but that's okay. Let me go ahead and try to dodge all of these. Also, since we are the Archer class, we do have the teleport skill as well, which is really nice to utilize. Also, being able to like move with the hurricane skill is really nice as well. I didn't realize just how helpful that is to move with the hurricane skill and also not getting penalized for moving with it. So your speed is pretty fast while moving with hurricane. And we just got to go ahead and just dodge as best we can. Since my bursts are down, I'm just kind of playing. Oh, let me see if I dodge that. Nice. Like right there, supposed to die. Okay, I did die. I'm going to go ahead and pop my burst here. And I'm going to go ahead and throw a bind. Hopefully, okay, I died. Let me see if I can burst him down here. All right, we got him down. A little bit rough, but you know, we got the job done. We're just gonna do like a nice little boss rush talks here again with the Bowmaster edition. It's been really cool getting back on the Bowmaster. This was my very first like favorite class in Maple, I would say. It's the one that really, when I was like falling in love with Maplestory, Bowmaster was the class. Well, back then I guess we didn't really have Bowmaster. It was more of just the Ranger and the Archers, but this is a class that definitely got me into Maplestory. It's been really special being back on the Bowmaster for sure. And if you notice, like, there's just a lot of skills that proc with the Bowmaster now. So we have like Speed Mirage here, which just leaves after images, and they will go ahead and shoot arrows like all around you periodically while you're attacking, and it's super nice. And then just like all of our burst skills too, like Storm of Arrows, Inhuman Speed, Quiver Barrage, it just keeps proccing more arrows around you. These bosses at the moment are pretty easy for the Bowmaster to take them down, just with the levels and the nodes and the stat progression. I really did some work on it these past few days. Pretty happy on where we're at. The nodes are looking pretty good as well. especially with all those node injections with this event. I think these hyperburning events, the biggest thing are the nodes. Like, of course it's the levels up to 250, but just how much those nodes help out is insane. You get really big damage boosts with those nodes. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go down the line and pop my bursts here. And as you can see, Queen will hopefully melt pretty soon. And the health bar is just going down. There it is. Nice. Very stress-free class as well. Like, Bowmaster is just a super chill class to play. Training and bossing. It's just, again, the arrows doing the work for you, which is really nice. I think it's good and bad, because sometimes people do like a little bit more of a challenge and a little bit more of an engaging class when they're playing. So they do like to kind of find, you know, maybe a more combo heavy oriented class, or classes that require a little bit more. So Bowmasters definitely are not that. So if you're looking for more of a challenge, I would say Bowmaster wouldn't be your type of class. There are some like minor inconveniences, I would say, for sure with Bowmaster. One being the sprinkler, the arrow platter skill, the one I just put over here in the far left corner so it doesn't heal the clown. Like, needing to place that down every time at the start, it could get a little bit annoying for sure, because you don't just like hold down the skill to place it down. You have to hold it down and then press your interact key. Oh shoot, hold on one second. Let me try to burst this guy down, which I don't have a burst. Let me see if I can just hit him down. Actually, I'm a little bit worried about that. Let me not risk it. I don't want it to split, so I'm gonna put the arrow platter skill on the opposite side, because I really don't want this clown to split. It's gonna be horrible if he does. So the arrow platter, you have to hold the skill down. So as you saw, like, you're holding it down and then you press the interact key and then it places the skill down, which is really nice because then you have like another summon somewhere in the map. Let me go ahead and bind burst this guy down. I should probably set up the burst first, but that's okay. So as you can see, like, I wasn't even attacking right there. I was just pressing my skills and it died because of just all the automatic arrows coming out of my body. Very simple, you know, it just does the job for you. Like, it would be cool if like you could just automatically place this sprinkler down without having to press another key to press it down, but I'm so used to it now, it just makes sense. But I know, like, for newer players, this was a pretty big turnoff. Also, I feel like Bowmasters kind of have a shorter range for being an archer class. It's no marksman. Marksman, I do feel like, has a superior range of their skills. Bowmasters, pretty short with their attack range. I'm still trying to gauge on like marksman versus Bowmaster, which one I like more, and just the pros and the cons between them. I'm definitely trying to get my feels in order here because I am approaching 250 pretty soon. But when I hit 250, I'll definitely do a comparison video on like Bowmasters versus marksman, and hopefully I can come up with who I like better at that time. But there are some things I definitely miss about the marksman. I think Bowmasters ultimately do have better mobbing in general, just due to all like the rotation. When you're training and mobbing, you like rotate through your skills here, your burst skills, and again, just the wider range, not technically like horizontal range, but you got more vertical range, which could be helpful in a lot of maps. I would say majority, you want to have a more of like a bubble training style, if that makes sense. Like damage doing or damage being around you, like a sphere. So like when you're moving around, it kind of hits in a nice circular pattern. But marksmans, they don't really have that. They have just more of a straight mobbing, and Bowmasters have more of that sphere mobbing, which is very helpful. That being said though, I think marksmans do have my favorite skill still, is the split shot. Just something about the split shot is just super satisfying to proc, but I don't really want to do too much of a comparison video right now. It's hard though, because, you know, marksman is still on my mind quite a bit. But yeah, I do want to focus more so on just the Bowmaster here in this one. Oh gosh, okay, right there was supposed to die, as you saw, but the survivability again on the Bowmaster, amazing. Silhouette Mirage just tanked one of those hits, and it's great. And just a reminder, those come up every 50 seconds. Once every 50 seconds it recharges, so it's very strong. Alright, let me go ahead and get my bind burst ready. I'm going to pop all my buffs. I'm going to pop my skills. And then I'm going to go ahead and bind and throw down my arrow platter as well. And then we're just going to burst. And there it is. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that damage. It is nice. And Hurricane though, Hurricane is so sexy. You know, like this Hurricane skill, it's so good. I love it. Look at that, man. Just chill. It's just a chill class. That's all it is. Let me go into Pink Beans, Cygnus, all these lovely folks over here. I did want to mention the cooldown of the skills as well for Bowmaster. All these skills are a cooldown of 2 minutes, 120 seconds, but keep in mind that these skills last for almost a minute each. I mean, granted, like this is 40 seconds, this is about, what, 55 seconds, so they're out there, maybe not a full minute, but it does cut the cooldown quite a bit. So you can use these skills often, which I do enjoy. Like I know the 4-minute burst class, or maybe they changed it now, but like, you know, those like bursts that you gotta wait a little bit for them to all come online. They're cool because they do big damage, but I think I do like to activate the skills sometimes a little more and kind of have a more of a consistent damage. I like the consistency and being a little bit more active with it. But it's kind of interesting I say that because, like I just mentioned before, Bowmaster isn't like too active of a class because all you're doing is just popping the skills and then you're kind of having everything else do things for you. Also, I don't think I have all cures equipped. I should really equip some all cures. But I guess it didn't really matter because my arrow platter was just killing it. Ooh, pink bean mark. Nice, black bean mark. Maybe I can use this if I wanted to switch out the monocle, if I was like trying to go for the boss accessory set. I don't know. I really like this boss accessory set. Kind of sad I'm not taking advantage of it right now just because I have like really odd equips. I'm not going to even burst here because I'm going to try to save it for CPAP. Try to have all those bursts going would be really nice. So we'll just go ahead and hit Cygnus normally here. Also, this damage skin makes me super happy. This animated damage skin, oh my gosh. Supposed to die there, nice. Yeah, this animated damage skin though is beautiful. Just having all the jiggles of the steam buns, it brings joy to me. It's really nice. Alright, CPAP time. CPAP might be a little bit of a struggle here. I'm going to probably pop my guild buffs as well going in. I totally forgot to mention this, which I should probably mention this earlier. Bowmaster's got a very nice buff in Savior. I hear it both ways. I hear it's a buff for early to mid game players, and then it's a little bit of a nerf for end game players. And the reason being is one of our skills turned into a flat rate of IED, which is this armor break skill. So this is IED plus 40%, which that's a lot of IED. And that's just built in now to Bowmasters. Before, I forgot what skill that was, but I think it was like doing some sort of armor break or damage over time maybe. Could have been a little bit more helpful for endgame players just because when you're at endgame, ideally you would have all your IED filled out. But when you're in early game to mid game, IED is a pretty hard stat to get. So having that is a really nice boost for early mid game Bowmasters. Just having that flat rate. If you notice, my IED right now is 92%. And I don't have any IED familiars. Big Poop and Killer Panda, they're just drop familiars. So yeah. Oh, I was not prepared. Hopefully I don't die here. Let me go ahead and bind. And then get my arrow platter out. And just hopefully we can still get some good damage. Nice. Very nice. Well, I will say though that my ID is also coming from my Lincoln Legions, so that is a big thing as well. You know, those stats are being inflated just due to my account being progressed, but you know, really when I'm making a new character though, I want to hero will right here so I don't get locked. When you're making a new character, like when I'm making a new character even, my ID is relatively low. Even with all my links and legions and stacks, I usually really need to get an ID familiar to kind of fill out the extra ID, but Bowmaster did not have that problem, so it's pretty good. Nice. I know we just took down Lotus in my previous video. It was a little bit of a longer run, but I did want to go ahead and just maybe give a little update on the Lotus and show you guys what it's like now after we progressed the Bowmaster a bit. So I'll go ahead and just hit it up here. Again, teleport in the middle, just so easy dodging of the laser. we can go ahead and just port when the laser is ready to be dodged, and it's just, we're good to go. I'm trying to find a good bursting opportunity here, which I think I'll go ahead and start now. And just pop everything. And here we go. Hopefully the damage starts to pick up. It's really nice in Lotus as well because all these extra ads that are being spawned are just kind of getting destroyed again by the hundreds of arrows that are just proccing from my body due to just how Bowmasters work here. So it's really nice in that way as well. So a lot smoother than the first attempt, and it's feeling really good. It's just feeling super good. Again, really stress-free class. Just can kind of coast and chill. And I can tank 2 laser hits as well because I still have on the top 2 silhouette mirages still there. Here also I was given some tips to use my hyper skill when Lotus is on foot, because hyper skill, the gusty wind, will go ahead and slow the boss. So that's going to be really helpful. That's another thing too, a downside about Bowmasters, we don't have a puppet skill, but we can't have it all, you know? We literally just cannot have it all. We could try to make the perfect class. There's always going to be pros and cons for a class. You just got to work around it. I think this Gritty Gust is a little workaround for not having a puppet skill, but it's just kind of interesting because the Archer was like one of the main classes that had a puppet. You know, like the OG puppet where you place it down and enemies would get taunted or aggroed by it. But now they took that away from Bowmasters, and marksmans do have somewhat of a puppet. They got the anchor skill, which the anchor skill does proc a lot of, or aggro. It aggroes a lot of bosses. So it's interesting that they took that away from Bowmaster, but you know what? We got enough, I think. I think Bowmaster's got enough. We're a pretty powerful class for sure, and it's just, again, just a very easy, chill class. So I think this one is definitely, not having a puppet is okay. And I just bind and burst right there, which is nice. Almost 4 minutes into the run right now. This last phase does get a little bit wonky, so we got to be careful. Again, using that covering fire for more mobility is very nice when you can just like kind of stall yourself up in the air. That's very helpful as an archer. More of like a double flash jump. Even when you flash jump, use covering fire, you can really move around the map. Very nice in boss runs and training. I think just having that extra mobility is super good. The teleport skill, which I'm still trying to remember to use more in boss runs. I tend to kill myself a lot more using the teleport skill, so I need to practice just placing that better in bossing. But for training wise, teleport skill is incredible. You know, you can really just make almost every map viable. And more so with Bowmaster, because you place your sprinkler down in one area, you place the Urda shower in another, and you can like just cover the map really well. Looks like we are finishing this run in about 8 minutes. Very cool. 8-minute Lotus run for the Bowmaster now, which is feeling really good. And I believe the last run, it took me 25 minutes to do, so there's been a huge increase of time, and it's just really nice seeing those gains. And there we are. Overall, Bowmaster has been very enjoyable. I can't stop saying it. It's a super chill, easy class to play. If you guys are looking for one of those, Bowmaster is definitely for you. You just have to get around some of the nuances with it. But other than that, very good class. Been loving it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying the Savior update. This has been DaBoki, and I'll be seeing you guys later. Goodbye.